This show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Effizode 711. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, California. Today, Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster, plus it's part 2 of my Into an interview with LUISA Black, lead singer of the San Francisco band Rich Girls. And how has Pandora changed radio today? Mike's Daily Podcast. We'll find out in just a little bit of a minute or so, I'd say. Mike's Daily Podcast. And on the last show, Floyd, the floor man, and John Deere, the engineer, had to get some new IKEA furniture because it broke and destroyed someone's chandelier. It was a raucous show. Floyd broke it by actually sneezing on it. Sneezing on IKEA furniture breaks it. Mike's Daily Podcast. And I enjoy taking my equipment, my podcast equipment, to places. Mike's. And having it broken daily by drunken podcast wedding attendees. Yeah! That are trying to make a toast to the groom, and they're drunk, and they're like destroying the mic stand for effect. Look who just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How y'all doing?
And it's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you what.
What?
If you are letting people borrow your podcast equipment, doesn't that mean at some point that you are going to have it all broken and the podcast will end?
Yes, that's true. It'll be the end of the podcast as we know it.
Well, then lend it out, man. Be giving your podcast equipment. Just give it away. Give it away now. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I'm surprised you know that band. Mike, he dances to all that 90s alternative crap. He loves it. Wonderful. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the Brewmaster. Oh, boy.
Brewmaster, tell me about this root beer you're making today.
This is a delicious IKEA root beer. And actually, it has a Danish name that cannot be pronounced by anyone. Oh, boy.
Wow. Let me try some of it. Tastes like those little meatballs in root beer form. Lovely. So how has Pandora changed radio, except for the fact that, you have discovered a way to listen to music and not have to listen to pukey DJs all the time, every hour of the hour? We're bringing you traffic all the hour. And what has happened is so many people have tuned into Pandora that now radio has tried to find other ways to combat Pandora. What they have done is develop a way of no longer playing as many commercials, which, what a wonderful concept. For the past 10 years or so, the amount of commercials that have been played on radio stations has just increased, soared during the recession. So many radio stations trying to not go out of business and just playing as many commercials. What, you want to advertise? Okay, you can have a commercial too. Well, anybody wants to advertise, they can. So let's just fill our radio station up with commercials. So what has happened in Seattle? There's a radio station called The End, and this is what they have decided to do. This is their new statement. They have recently broadcasted this statement. It's called the 2-minute promise. It says, cut the number of commercials played per hour in half. Never play more than 2 minutes of commercials in a row. Refocus on music discovery. Cut down on music repetition. And maybe, most importantly, do not fire disc jockeys to fund the endeavor. Wow. I can't believe that a radio station is actually saying this is what they're going to do. The End, a big alternative rock station in Seattle. Shortly after that announcement, a privately owned Fresno radio station made a similar move. They say they will play no more than 5 minutes of commercials per hour, giving advertisers ownership of each break. According to TheStreet.com, they say expect more stations to follow suit. One Clear Channel Once the Clear Channels and Cumulus Media stations follow suit, the game doesn't simply change, it breaks completely wide open. Because traditional radio will then immediately raise the value of advertising on their stations. They will be able to charge more, focusing on premium clients. And that will mean a lot of smaller businesses or businesses that really can't afford to advertise on radio won't. And apparently, Pandora is going the opposite direction. Over the past few months, according to TheStreet.com, they have heard a considerable bit about Pandora gradually increasing the number of commercials it plays per hour. It has no choice, really, given the economics of its business. What do you think? Is it going to work? Do you think terrestrial radio, traditional radio, will be able to move ahead of internet radio by sticking to this promise, this 2-minute promise? Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. We read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. There's also the website, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, where there are links to where to listen to the show in iTunes. And if you do subscribe to us in iTunes, make sure to rate and comment on the show, because if you do that, more people will find out about us that way. There's also the Facebook page. Like the Facebook page. When I post a new show, share it with your friends, and more people find out about us too that way. There's also links to where to find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Mixcloud, Yelp, Tumblr, Twitter. We have the Amazon deal of the day. Click on that and buy something, and you'll have a great discount on whatever it is you buy, and we will get a little something from that. Also, a great way to support the show is to throw your socks in the washer. I don't know. That's pretty much it. The best way to support the show are those ways that I mentioned. There's also the blog and the daily podcast picture. Oh, yeah, there's also a PayPal button somewhere on the website. But it's all there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, as well as past interviews.
Into an interview.
We're speaking with LUISA Black of the band Rich Girls, and she is the lead singer, and she has a cool name, LUISA, and there's a British TV show called Doc Martin, and the girl, the love interest, her name is Louisa, and everybody calls her Louisa.
Louisa.
All the British
I was
people.
just living in London this year. I have not seen that show.
Oh, really? Did anyone call you Louisa over in?
Yeah.
They add an R.
Yeah, you get a lot of inflections like that.
Well, tell me about what you're working on now.
Sure. So we just finished tracking a new EP. It's called Fiverr, and it's the first one with the whole live band on it, because the last one was just me.
Wow.
So the recording went a lot more quickly this time.
and
it was nice.
Where are you recording?
We're recording at Blighty Sound, which is so Sean Beresford, who was the engineer and producer on the last Rich Girls, on the first Rich Girls EP, also did this one, and he has this incredible studio out in the Marin Redwoods, literally in the middle of a redwood grove.
Nice.
So it's super secluded and really nice.
Oh.
Highly recommend it for bands.
Wow, out in the redwoods.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Beautiful. And then I saw pictures on your Facebook of a recording room that were...
Yeah, I think that was probably the one at Blighty. Did it look like it was surrounded by redwoods?
There was a lot of carpet, and you said you were tracking guitars.
Yep. That was there.
Very cool. And let's see, what is your Facebook for Rich Girls?
It's Rich Girls Are Here.
Rich Girls Are Here. Okay, yeah, because you've got some cool pictures on there. And what is the pantless theme that's going on on Facebook?
You know, you got to look good. I'm sort of post-pants right now.
Post pants.
However, all the guys in the band wear suits.
Wow, that's a cool combination. The men wear more clothes, though women wear none. Below.
Well, not none. We're dignified enough.
Yeah, but the less fabric, the better, or...
Yeah, I'm not always pantless, to be clear. I like pants fine.
And you have a cool leather jacket.
Ooh, I do have a cool leather jacket. You mean the one with Lemmy on the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, this local artist, Matt Momschlop, who's amazing, did a series of kind of icon portraits on vintage Harley jackets, and then he hand studs them. So I commissioned a Lemmy one.
Of Motorhead?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Do people ever start singing like him when they're walking behind you and they see his image?
That has yet to happen, but if it does, I'll know it's you.
I got to work on my Lemmy voice then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to lock myself in a room and listen to Motorhead for 3 weeks and see what...
Have at it.
Try and grow some facial hair. Tell me about the song Steady.
Steady, more bad behavior. That whole record is all about the same thing.
Bad behavior.
It's sort of a breakup song. It's about wanting somebody back who you're not good for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then the chords and the sound, what was that inspired by?
You know, I'm always kind of chasing the perfect reverb, so I spent a lot of time trying to get this really sort of beautiful, cavernous kind of sound. And I was really interested in kind of crafting a kind of California surf noir sort of sound on that song. I also was really missing, I was writing when I was in London and it was the dead of winter. I was really missing California.
Oh.
So, yeah, that feels like a very California pop song to me.
Chasing the perfect reverb.
Yep.
I love that. All right, well, let's play it. It's Steady, Rich Girls. LUISA Black is singing on this, and it's right now playing on Mike's Daily Podcast. chasing the reverb and bringing you a nice California pop song. There is Rich Girls, LUISA Black. As we go outside the last place on earth, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. And that is the song called Steady.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The picture is yesterday I was telling you about the nice police officer that did not give me a ticket, which has never happened. When I get pulled over, the next thing that happens is a ticket. I got a warning, and I really think the world has changed, or it just changed for a moment, and now it's back to normal, and I have to be really careful because I'm always the one that gets picked on. I'm always the one that has to end up paying those tickets and those fines that end up helping the rest of us not have to pay for those, it seems. So I got out of that ticket by not doing anything, just smiling and saying, "Oh, thank you," afterwards. And I told the police officer I was going to Brushy Peak, which is near the Altamont over in Livermore. And it's a really neat area. You can walk there, and you can see it's quite brown now as we are in a drought. Although we did get a little bit of rain on Wednesday night. Just a tiny little bit, interestingly enough, here in Northern California. But you can see that picture of me standing out there amongst the big brown rolling hills. My head kind of, echoing the brown rolling hills, because it is sort of a rolling head. But you can see that picture now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Mike, I think that it's awesome that you go to places where you can walk around that have strange names like Brushy Peak. Yeah, I think it is. It's great to do that. We all need to go somewhere unusual like that. I like nature. Like out here in the outside of the last place on earth, the patio. So calm and serene.
Muck, a bird just did something to my head that I would not do to my best friend.
Okay. Well, tomorrow we'll have the finale of the Into an Interview with LUISA Black of the band Rich Girls. Plus, we will hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!
Mike, IKEA root beer is disgusting.